Next question is, each of your organisations managed to improve employee engagement last year. What made you successful in doing so? Dorothy, if I come to you and look at what happened at Continuum last year, how have you managed that?
Okay, so engagement has been something that team engagement hasn't been high on the agenda for a long time. It's not the culture of the company. We're a very traditional guest-led company rather than team-led. So what I did about 2 years ago, I actually stuck it on as a management KPI. And because it was a KPI, it was linked to their bonus. And by goodness, they take ownership of it when it's linked to their bonus, let me tell you. But what I have done, the first year it was linked to a bonus, it was like, oh, Dorothy, we're never going to get that target. You're giving us that outer reach target. So this last year just gone, their KPI was, we ran a survey in March, exclude the seasonal survey because this is about the core team, ran the survey in March. Whatever their result was, I wanted them to better it in the October survey. But more importantly, it wasn't just about bettering it, because listen, I've worked in some industries where you put people in a room, give them a cup of tea and you're not coming out until you've done everything positive. But what I wanted to see more importantly was an action plan, a robust action plan on how you're going to move it. And to be fair, some of them moved it a heck of a lot. And some of them moved it 1 or 2 percentages. But what they backed it up with was their action plan. And that was the important thing. I needed to see that. And equally, from a company, from a group point of view, what I also was presented with was, I gave them a company action plan, because it's all right saying to the managers on site, you need to do this. Well, I needed to show them how I was going to support them from a company point of view. And to be fair, ours was about well-being, it was about diversity. So it was about group things that they maybe couldn't influence at site, but I was there to support that influence, and we were able to action plan that as well. So I think they bought into it very well.
Brilliant. It sounds like a perfect blend of top-down, bottom-up action planning, which is exactly what we try to achieve. But it's not always that simple, is it? And
it's not simple. It's not. Yeah.
A lot of pulling teeth.
Yes.
Karen, what did you do around last year that helped you improve engagement?
Very similar to Dorothy, actually. I think between our last survey and the one before, between the one before and the last survey, the interest and engagement from our senior team grew. Evident, they were far more bought in. I think with our CEO was relatively new when we did our last one survey, and so his influence and the areas that he's focusing on have changed the behaviours of the exec. And of course, as Dorothy said, what gets measured gets done. The people metric KPIs are more evident, and therefore if it's on the agenda, it's going to get talked about and people are going to follow up. So following the process that Dorothy also mentioned, so communicating, measuring KPIs, linking you said we did back to the survey, and keeping it on people's agendas are all very, very important. But the other thing that I think has brought the survey to life much more is using the people science team to actually take the results one step further and bring them to life. That's allowed us to focus on the actions that are going to actually give us the best results against engagement, and it also has focused our management teams in just focusing on the top 3 actions. So previously, when we did some analysis, we gave them their results and we told them the areas, or suggested the areas that they should focus on, but left them to come up with their own action planning and areas of focus. Some find it quite challenging to really understand where they should focus first, and it was either the things that were easier got done first, but they weren't necessarily going to have the biggest impact on engagement. Or in the other extreme, they were overfaced, and so they either took a long time to get going, they didn't really know where to start, or they tried to do too much. So using the guidance from the people science team and really honing us down on the areas that are going to give us the biggest bang for our buck, if you like, that has allowed us to really focus down into the top 3 actions. When they're done, if we've still got time, we'll focus on the next 3. But that's made a massive difference for us.